Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Adelam here. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. If you're new here, you're welcome. Consider subscribing and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that I get notified whenever I post new videos. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. I really appreciate you all. So in today's video, we are going to be making a pleated wedding outfit with a cape for a girl. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Alright, here I have my zipper, and this is my African print. This is 1 yard and this other one is 2 yards, and I have my lining as well. So I'm going to keep this aside so we can alter the bodice. Alright, so this is my bodice pattern, and this dress is going to be for a 10-year-old. So this is my bodice pattern. I have a detailed video on how to draft a basic bodice pattern, so I'm going to drop the link in the description box so you can check that out. So we're going to alter this pattern now to make the dress. So I'm going to take this front. This is the front pattern. All right, so what I use as my neck depth is 3 inches. So I will just mark out, I'll just make it 4 inches. So I'm going to mark out 4 inches. Okay, then I'm going to connect that straight. Okay, so this is like an off the shoulder. So this is it. I will now connect this straight so I will know where to add my strap. Okay, so I'll just bring it down, or rather you can just mark out what I used. I used 3.5. So this is 3.5 there. I'm going to connect that straight. Then when cutting, I am going to notch or note this point here. This is where the strap will come in. Alright, so I am going to cut this off now. Now for your strap, you can decide to make it 1.5, 2, or even 1 inch, depending on the size that you want to use. For me, I'll be making my 1.25 is okay for me. Okay, so I'll just mark that out and then connect. Okay, so this is the strap now. I'm going to cut this off. And whatever I did here, I'm going to repeat the same on this back pattern. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut this off and repeat the same on the back pattern. Alright, this is it after cutting it off. As you can see, this is what I'll be using as my strap. And remember that this is 4 inches. Now for you to know how many inches that you'll be cutting out as the cape, remember this dress, the cape only starts from the armhole of the back side. Okay, I don't know if you understand. I'm going to drop the picture so that you can see how the back side look. So I will just check what I'll be using for that cape. Now whatever you have here, this is 4 inches. You are going to add it, okay, to get the bicep part. Okay, now if I open it up, I will just check again what I have from this point to this point. Now what I have here is 12.5. This is 12.5, and the strap is 4. This is what I use, 4 inches. Okay, so now this 4 inches is going to be for one side, and the one for the other side is going to be 4 inches as well, making it 8 inches. So we're going to add that to this number. Now this part, this other sleeve, or yes, let me just say sleeve, this other sleeve should be 8 inches, while this other side is 8 inches, making it 16 inches. So you're going to add that to whatever you have here. Remember that the cape did not run through to the zipper part. It only ends at the back of the armhole. Okay, that is the armhole of the back side. So if you add this together, this is 28.5. So I will be adding 1 inch for ease, because I don't want it to be too tight on that bicep area. So I'll just add 1 inch for that, plus half an inch that I'll be using to sew it in at the back armhole. That is making it 1.5. So if you add that to this, it is everything now totals to 30 inches. So the length of my cape is going to be 30 inches. Okay, I hope you understand this, but just take your time, you will just get it right. So I'll be cutting out 30 inches for the cape. That is the length. All right, and then for you to know how many inches you'll be using for your cape, all right, so you're going to check what you have. This is the armhole, so I'm going to check what I have here. This is 5.5, okay, because we are going to be sewing in the cape on this back armhole. So if you check what you have here, this is what you'll be cutting out for your cape. I said earlier that the length will be 30 inches by 5.5. Okay, now remember that the 5.5 should be on fold. Okay, so 5.5 now, making it 11 inches because you're going to fold it inside. So 11 inches, you can decide to add half inch for joining it together. Okay, so this part is just going to be like a bow. Okay, so as we proceed, you understand better. So now I'll just take this now and place on my fabric and then cut it all out so we can start the sewing. All right, after cutting it all out, this is what I have. This is for the front and this is the back. All I did was just to add my 1/4 inch for sewing allowance only on this side, because my bodice pattern I've already added sewing allowance on it. So this is the strap, this is one, and this is the other side. So here I have the cape. Remember I said that we'll be needing 30 inches. So this is what I have here, 30 inches by 11. I said 5.5, but when you put on fold is 11, okay, plus your sewing allowance. So this is what I have. The next thing to do now is to cut out the cape, the bow. Now to cut out the bow, I'm going to take this front because it's going to be at the front. Okay, so I'll just open it up and check what I have here. So here I have 18 1/4. This is what I have. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. I'll be making it 19 inches. I want it to have a little ease, so I'll just cut out 19 inches. You know how you cut out your fabric when you want to make a bow. So I'll just cut out 19 inches and then you can decide how many inches you want to use for that. I think I'll be making use of 5 as well, or sorry, 5.5 as well, because I want it bold. If you don't want it bold, you can just make it smaller. So I'll go ahead and cut out 19 inches, okay, and I'll also use my African print for the bow. So let me just quickly cut that out so we can start the sewing. All right, so this is the bow. Like I said, this is 20 inches and I use same 5.5. This is 11. If you open it up, is 11. Unfold is 5.5. So we're going to start sewing now, and we're going to start with the front side. Okay, so now this is the front. I'm going to open it up and take my lining, and then we are going to be closing this armhole. That is the first thing to do. So I'll just place it over and then close the armhole, but we're going to leave this part open, okay? But later we're going to close it. By the time we join the cape, everything will close. So after joining this, I will now sew this straight, okay, and turn it to give me the bow. All right, so I will just go ahead now. Like I said, let me just close this and sew this one so we can continue. All right guys, this is it after joining the armhole, and as you can see, I just sewed the dart. Now for the dart, you can skip this part if you're not comfortable with it, but there's a fit I want to achieve for this upper part. That is why I added this dart. So this is the back. I did the same on the lining, and here I have the bow. As you can see, I just sew that and turn it inside out, and then you iron it, making sure that the line is at the center. All right, and guys, we are starting our online classes. If you're interested in any of our online classes, kindly check the description box for a number to reach out for more details on that. Okay, so now I am going to take the cape. This is the cape that we're working with. So I will check what I have here now. After sewing, I'm going to check what I have from this point to this point. So what I have is, this is 12 inches. So I'm going to take my cape and fold it into two, as I am doing now. Okay, and then I'm going to mark out 6. You know, when you open it up, that is the 12 inches that we just measured out now. So this is 6. I'm going to notch that point, a very tiny notch. All right, like I was saying, I just notched that point, and if you open it up, you will see that we have our 12 inches here. So I'm going to sew and end it there, and also do the same on this other side. So now for the bow, this is the upper part, that is the front. I'm going to take the bow. Remember that we added an ease to this, so I'll just join it this way on the side. I'll just join it and then join this one as well. Now you see that we have a little excess here. By the time we join it with the cape up, it is going to be very okay. So let me just quickly sew all this, and then for the back I will just sew only the neckline, that is for the back, and then this armhole part I'm going to leave it open. This is the last part, the last side to sew for this side. So this is my zipper. I will leave it open as well. That is the last thing to put after sewing the dress. Okay, so let me just quickly sew the neckline and then do all this other sewing so we can continue. Right, this is it after sewing it, and this is how the inside is. Now this is the line. Okay, you just use like 1/4 inch and just fold it in a little. Okay, so that by the time you join the band, it's not going to be showing. This line is not supposed to be showing. If you turn to the front, it's going to look this way, while the line will be a bit hidden inside. This is the need. This is why you need to go in a bit by 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch at most, and then give it a good press there. So I'm going to take now this. Now this is the back, this is the front. I will take the band. Before fixing the band, this is how I join the band. You first and foremost join the shoulder and then close it up, then turn it inside out. So this is what I have here. So this is my band. I am going to turn this part now, that is the back side, and pin it. Okay, so I'll just leave like 1/2 inch there and then just pin it, and I'll repeat the same on this other one. Okay, so after pinning it, now this is what I have is at the back. So this is the cape. So this is the cape, and now this is the side that have the line. Now this part is supposed to be in front this way. This is how your cape should be after sewing. It should be this way. Now that opening that we left, I am going to sew that in. Okay, so I will just turn this now. Okay, let me just turn it inside out to make it easier. Just put your hand and bring it out. Now this is what I have. I am going to join it now, leaving one side open. So I will just sew from that point and then to this other end. So I'll just open this up and stitch it together with the lining to this other end. After sewing now, I'll just turn it inside. Let me just sew this first so you understand better. Let me just close this up and then I'll show you how to turn it out. All right, this is it after joining it. Like I said, this is how it looks. And remember that I left one and I used one, and I did not sew exactly on this line. I came up a bit, okay, and then join it to the other end. So I am going to turn it over now this way, okay, and then bring it inside out, and I'll do the same on the other side. So we can now close it up nicely. Okay, so this is it. Now this is what I have. If you turn it the other way, this is it. This part is still open. So I am going to use that now. Remember the inch that you used to sew this, I will now use it to close it up nicely. Okay, at this point I'm going to straighten up the line. Okay, so I'm going to fold it this way and then close it up nicely. So I'll just sew it now from that point to this other side. So I'll just do that and give it a good press. So after that, I'm going to take the back. Here I have the back here. So this is it. Sorry about that, the weather today is not that friendly. All right, so this is the back. Now I am going to take this band. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take this band now and place it over this way. Okay, and as you can see, I am using same inch that I use for this front side. So I'll just pin it right there, and then I will place the lining over. All right, this is what I have. As you can see, I have a very neat finishing. Okay, you just take a matching thread and join it neatly. So this is the back side. If you turn it over now, this is the front. You can see at this side you also have a very neat finishing here. So I'm going to turn it over now. When you want to iron, make sure you iron it back the same way we did, by putting the 1/4 of an inch inside, and then you iron it very well. Okay, so this is what I have. This is how you place an iron so that your line will not be visible. So I'm going to take the back now, like I was saying earlier. So this is the back. So I'll just fold it inward, as you can see, and I'll pin it right there, then use the lining, place it on top, and then sew. And I'll repeat the same on the other side of the back side, and also join I'm going to join the lining as well. So you just place your lining over. Okay, today weather is not friendly, so please ignore. So I'm going to place it over this way and then close it up, but make sure to leave this armhole open. We're going to join these parts to this armhole. So let me just quickly do this and sew the dart for the back, and then we finish up. All right, this is it. After joining the back side, as you can see, this is how it is. Now we are going to be joining this to the back armhole, but before that we need to use the band and hold these parts. Okay, so here I have a little band and I have my needle and thread. So now I'm going to raise this one up to make sure that I note the center. So this is the center. Okay, so I'm going to put my needle there as a guide for me to know the center. Okay, and then I will straighten it up again. We are going to make a bow here. It's very easy. Just from the center point you just fold. Okay, if you want, you can also use your needle and just sew it and then drag it. It will just give you what you want, but for me I will just go with this one. Okay, this is how you go about making a bow. This is it. Okay, so I'll now join this upper one together with it. As you can see, just very small. You don't need much. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. All right, so here you just play with it and then see how it will turn out to be. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. All right, and now I am going to pass my needle through and then put the band to secure it nicely. Now to put the band, I will just hold this with my hand and move it inward, as you can see the way I am going about it. Okay, so here now you use your needle to hold it inside. Okay, so this part, like I said, you just play around with this part. It's very easy, nothing much there. Okay, so I'll just pass it to the back side and secure it very well, making sure that my thread is not visible. Okay, so it's as easy and simple as that. All right, so this is it. I will now join the back armhole and then we'll cut the lower part. For the lower part, I'm going to add a little there's a way I want to go about with the lower part. Okay, so make sure to watch to the end so you can see how it is. Okay, so this is okay. I'll adjust it very well and you're good to go. Okay, so now I'll just turn this over now. This is it, and then open it up as you can see, and then I'll take this in and then close it back this way. Now I'll just join it together. Okay, and make sure to leave the inch that you want to use to close the sides. So I'll just sew like that until I get to the end, and then I'll repeat the same on the other side, then close the side of the dress. After that, I'll now bring the other one so we can cut the lower part. All right, here I just finished joining it. As you can see, this is the front and this is what the back look like, and you can see that you have a very neat finishing at the back as well. Now there's an easy way of going about this cape. All you need to do is to take the measurement by yourself. You can place the tape on the back armhole and pass it to the front, back to the other side of the back armhole. Whatever you have there, you use that so that you can have a very fitted cape, okay, on the shoulder. So this is the front. I'm going to keep this aside now, so I will cut the lower part. Now, like I said earlier, I'll be adding a little twist to the lower part. I'll be adding this fabric in front. That is for the lower part, but before that I need to cut it out. Here I have my fabric folded in a triangle way, same way you fold when you are making a half circle dress. So this is what I have. So I'll go ahead now and just cut it out. I have a detailed video on how to cut out a pleated dress. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the description box so you can check that out as well. So this is what I have. I'll just mark out the length. From this side that is shorter, I'll just mark out the length of the lower part. Now the lower part length is 20 inches plus 1 inch for my hemming allowance, and then half an inch for the sewing allowance at the waist area. That is 21 and half. So I'm going to mark that out, okay, for this shorter side. All right, here is the 21 and half inches for the lower part. Okay, from there to this part that is shorter, it is 21 and half. Then I'll check what I have now from here to this upper side, and it is 17 and half. So I'll just keep moving my tape that way, okay, and then I'll cut it out. So it's as easy and simple as that. You can also check my other videos. I have a lot of videos on pleated dresses. You can also check those videos out so you can see how to go about this. So now from here I'm going to mark out the length. Okay, so I'll just mark out the length and cut it out. After cutting it out, I'm going to open up the center front. That is where I'll be joining the African print. Okay, so let me just quickly cut this out, and then I'll open the center front and slash it open. All right, here it is after cutting it out. This is the back. As you can see, this is the back opening, and this is the front, which is closed. I'm going to open it up. This is the center front. So I'll go ahead and open it up. As you can see, I'll be joining the African print on this part now. Okay, so let me just keep it aside. This is the African print. I'll just cut out 8 inches by 21 and half, which is the length that I am working with. Okay, so you need to check. Let me check how I want the position of the fabric to be. Okay, I think I will go this way. So I'll just mark out 8 inches by 21 and half. So this is 21 and half there. I'll be cutting this side out. So this is 21 and half. Then since my fabric is on fold, it should be 4. Okay, so I'll keep on adjusting it until I have what I want. Okay, so I'll just cut it out now. This is what I'll be joining be joining this to the lower part. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to take it now and join it in between. Okay, so I'll just open it up this way, and then I want this to be this way. As you can see, we're going to join it one side and take this other side as well and join. So at the end of the day, this is how it's going to look. So after joining it now, I'm going to pleat. Okay, after pleating, I'll now join it to the upper part, and we're almost done with this dress. All right, after pleating, this is how it looks. I just join together with the upper part, and this is how the front is. All that I need to do now is to give it a very good press so that all this will flatten up. So I'll go ahead and cut out my lining. For this fabric is has a lot of weight, so I'll just make a simple half circle lining for the inside. But if you're working with a very light fabric, I will advise you cut it out same way you did for this lower part. So for me, I am going to make mine a simple half circle because of the weight of this fabric. So I'll just quickly do that and then add the zipper so I can show you the final look of this dress. Alright guys, this is how the dress looks. As you can see, this is the fit that I was talking about. Now this is the down part. All that is left now is for me to give it a good press. So this is how the back looks. As you can see, it is looking very nice and simple and very okay. Alright, so this is how to go about making this beautiful dress. So please subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all soon.